Hi everybody, my name is Rita Crompton, President and CEO of Archimedes Offspring. So we are here to get you from mind to market as an inventor. All right, we're going to walk through the vetting process so that you know exactly what to do. One of the things that you can certainly do, and we encourage it, and it is step number one, is to go to the website and click on the inventor key and then go and read about the process, Archimedes Offspring, and how you can get signed up for the vetting. First thing we're going to do is sign a non-disclosure form for you. All right, so you don't have to worry about it. You don't even have to ask. We are going to suggest it and send you the form right away. All right, so then what? Well, it's going to explain to you what the steps are. So archimedesoffspring.com, and if you get to the end of this video, there's going to be a slide that's got the information directly on it. My email address, the website, and the phone number. So that said, step number one, you have an idea. All right, we can help any inventor through this process. You can apply for the vetting at any stage. All right, it's strictly on the merits of the invention. That said, we like to get the inventors in sooner rather than later. So for all you guys that are sitting on the couch and thinking, aha, I've got a better way of doing this widget, yay, that's great. That's where we want to start getting the inventors to look into the process and the steps before you've wasted a lot of money. Because there's just times when you shouldn't be doing it, and we're going to tell you. All right, so the next thing you're going to do is go to the website. You're going to read about it. You're going to go through the process. You're going to have us sign the non-disclosure for you. You may even fill out the vetting form. What you need to provide to us, all right, for the vetting process are three things after we do the non-disclosure form. First one is you need to have a comprehensive independent search done. Now, I don't care who you use. We can make suggestions for you if you want us to. Have no problem with that. We'll do the non-disclosure, have a conversation, and make some suggestions. But that independent, comprehensive search has got to have three components to it. All right, so the first one is the USPTO by classification, not keyword. Really important. The USPTO database is organized like a library. It's by classification and not keyword. So it's really easy if you don't put in the right keyword to miss something. So got to make sure that whoever you hire to do that search for you is doing it by classification, not keyword. It also has to include an international search, because if your idea has been done anywhere in the world at any time in history, you will not be granted a US patent. It's that simple. They're going to find it. They're going to say no. It also has to include a product search. So like I said, I don't care who you use, but it's got to include all three parts. Right? It is a conflict of interest to use an attorney if you're going to use that same attorney to write the patent. If you are insistent, and some inventors are, on using an attorney, I don't know why you'd want to pay their hourly rate to do a search, but your call. All right? This part's on you. So you can spend anywhere from $500 for a search to $2,500 for a search. You're going to get a comprehensive search, and it's got to include then a product search, because there's a 2.5-year blind spot at the USPTO. Got to know what else is out there as much as possible. So when you're looking to have someone do a search, you've got to make sure you ask three components of that. USPTO by classification, international search, usually the WIPA office is what they use, the WIPO office, World International Patent Office, and then a product search. That's what we're going to look for. And then you need a registered patent attorney to give you a patentability opinion. There are times when it comes back and it says, well, you can claim this is yours, but not this other part. Well, we want to know that. So the opinion, and then you fill out the application and you answer some questions. These are questions about your invention. We don't look at who you are as far as your background, your credit scores. We like to know, if you've come up with a new tool to fix a car, it helps if you're a mechanic, because then we know that you've got it. If you've come up with something new for, an engine and you are a housewife, we might ask some questions about that. The one I had was a housewife who came up with some ideas and wanted to file a patent on a house that would off the grid. Oh my God, that technology has been around for 20 years. So Before she started spending money, we said, you better go and do some more research on this yourself. And she's like, oh yeah, right, it's all over the place. Yes, it is. So part of what we do for the inventors is to guide you through the steps so you don't just start throwing money away. And especially if you're getting funding from us, we're going to kind of hold your feet to the ground on that. So those are the early steps. Now the vetting process. Once you've filled out all the forms, you've gotten all the information to us, and again, if you need help with that, a phone call, we're only a phone call away, and we do have multiple people who can answer your questions. All right, so once it's in our hands, what do we look at? We're going to ask our industry experts, what do you think of this? We want to know, all right, what price points do we have to hit? How strong is the intellectual property going to be? So once you put it into our hands and we're really looking at vetting, we're going to find out a lot of really good information that even if you're turned down for the vetting process and receiving the money, that you've got some answers, all right? It's like, no, we've seen this done, a dozen times over the last few years and we can never hit the right price point. Well, gee, that's nice to know before you've spent, 20 grand on a prototype. And again, that is why we're doing the mentoring and the funding at the same time. When we protect you, we're protecting the investors. When we're protecting the investors, we are protecting you. So the vetting process, pretty straightforward. We are going to be able to go out there, ask the industry experts, the engineers, the manufacturing, the sourcing people, what do you think? And there's a lot of them that think, this is really cool. Well, now we know, and they're not going to tell anybody. We've known these people for years and we trust them, or we don't ask them. Or they sign a non-disclosure with us. That's fine. If they're in our pool, we know who they are. That's great. So we want to be able to get that feedback from the industry experts, because a lot of times when you start getting the funding, all right, we already have a pretty good idea who the licensee is going to be. Inventors who are looking at licensing their intellectual property rather than being a startup is kind of our number one focus. It doesn't mean that you can't spin off and be a startup. It just means that we're looking for those industry experts who are going to do the heavy lifting. So if you don't know the difference between licensing and being a startup, it's pretty straightforward. If you are a startup, you are doing everything, including the funding, which is going to run you somewhere at a starting point of about $250,000 to get to the marketplace. For most inventors, that's a deal breaker. You might fantasize about drinking little umbrella drinks in Tahiti, but the reality is it's not going to happen to everyone. Some people make it, not everyone. So what we're looking for are those products that are going to be viable consumer products, and that we've got a licensee that is willing to do that heavy lifting. So we've got options. All right, so now you've gone through the vetting process, you're getting teed up, we present it to the board debates, they may ask additional questions, they may say, you know what, let's fund this first round, and then we vet again before you get the second round. The money goes into an escrow account, so service providers are paid directly. I am sorry, we're not paying for your vacation to Hawaii. We are pretty frugal. We are frugal with your money, we are frugal with the investor's money. Kind of the name of the game here. And what we want to be able to do then is get you teed up for that first round. Then we know what we're doing. So if you're an inventor and you've already filed your patent and you're just looking, you just can't get the next step done financially. All right, well, maybe we say, okay, yeah, this is a pretty cool idea. We've got some inventors who have already been chosen to receive funding for that last stage. Then we're off to the races. So you can come to us at any point in the process, and we're going to give you information for your next steps, even if you're not chosen to receive the funds. If you are chosen to receive the funds, congratulations to you. It will make life much easier and a lot more exciting. My name is Rita Crompton, and we are going to continue to advise you on next steps, how to go through the process, and what we're looking at. I will talk to you later.